My selected designer from the What Was Good Design exhibition 1944 till 1956 is Eero Saarinen. Saarinen was born during 1910 in Finland. He was born into a family of hard-working designers. Saarinen's parents were both well-known designers. His mother, Lolja Saarinen, was a textile designer, while his father, Eero Saarinen, was an architect. The family relocated from Finland to Michigan in the United States of America in 1923. This is where Saarinen's family were able to take their design careers further. Eli, Saarinen's father, was a co-founder of the Chloe Bourke Academy of Art. He also designed majority of the architecture on campus, which are today considered a National Historic Landmark. While Saarinen was still young, he worked alongside his father as a student apprentice. This is where he gained some lifelong skills in the design industry. When working at Chloe Bourke, Saarinen made a connection with Charles Eames that created a lifelong collaboration. By 1934, Saarinen had graduated from the School of Architecture at Yale University. As his career began to prosper, he had the understanding that his design and style would need to change depending on the wishes of the client, as he saw them as co-creators. Saarinen was also devoted to pressuring the established boundaries of modernism, which he liked to call the measly ABC. Although this did mean he was criticised, most of his clients and eventually other people understood his creative potential. Unfortunately, in 1950, Saarinen's father passed away, although this meant that Saarinen became the principal partner of Saarinen & Associates. The business began to flourish. As the business was doing so well, Saarinen landed himself on the front of the July 2nd, 1956 Time magazine. Roughly 10 years after appearing on the Time magazine, Saarinen largely disappears from the spotlight of architecture. After he had dominated not only American architecture but world architecture as well, this is mainly because he passed away from a brain tumour in 1961 at the age of 51, sadly leaving his wife Aline and their 3 children Eric, Eames and Suzanne behind. When Saarinen passed away, 10 of some of his most famous works were not yet completed, although his partner Kevin Roche and John Dinkeloo completed his remaining projects. While Saarinen did gain a massive amount of attention from the press when the projects were finally finished, he was unable to bask in the glory, nor was he able to defend his work as it was heavily criticised. He was criticised for the reason that his style was pushing the boundaries of modernism. Due to the criticism against his work in the late 60s and early 70s, Saarinen and his work is not in many architecture books. This supports that he did disappear from the spotlight until more recently in the mid-1980s. There had been an interest in the mid-century modern style of which Saarinen was a major component, so he became more and more interesting to the people. His furniture is also ever present. It's in glossy magazines and even in the backdrops of fashion magazines. Before Saarinen's death in the 1950s, he worked for everything that made America modern. This period of time is known as the American Century, as it was a century after World War II. Saarinen was heavily part of this century. He was involved with automobile culture, telecommunications, television, air travel, jet travel, information technology systems, suburban association, higher education, and he was also helping companies like IBM become global. All of these things helped make America modern after the Second World War, and without doubt Saarinen expanded all of these realms. Saarinen has designed and built an impressive 55 buildings, although just some of his outstanding works are Dulles International Airport in Washington, D.C., the Gateway Arch in St. Louis, Missouri, the TWA terminal at the Kennedy International Airport, and CBS headquarters in New York. He was also known for his scale models. Saarinen's room chair, 1946, was part of the What Was Good Design exhibition. The chair was designed not long after joining Knowles Associates. In the 1930s, the Museum of Modern Art focused on Dieter Rams' principles of good design when selecting objects for the exhibition. Saarinen's room chair complied with multiple of Rams' principles. The room chair meets the principle of good design is aesthetic due to the use of organic shape to create the base, arms and the back of the chair, to help make a better ergonomically made piece of furniture to suit our bodies and make users comfortable. The design being minimal also helps the aesthetic look, as the shape of the chair is really the key feature and it is also an intriguing shape. Good design is innovative. The room chair is innovative as it has an individual take on a very simple piece of furniture. While looking both stylish, it also has the purpose to be designed on the theory that a great number of people have never felt comfortable and secure since they left the womb. The chair is an attempt to rectify the maladjustment of our civilization. Good design is long-lasting. Saarien's room chair is obviously long-lasting as it is still a highly sought-after piece of furniture and is still on the market, while also fitting in with designs that are being produced today. The chair has now been in production for 69 years. Good design is thorough down to the last detail. Saarien's chair pays attention to small details of the design down to how the chair would be executed. The design was to make one as comfortable as they were in their mother's womb. He has also paid attention to how the pillow would be placed to encourage the comfort of the womb. Good design is little as possible. The design of Saarien's chair is minimal. The shape has been left as simple as possible. The single colour of the chair maintains the minimal design. The legs of the chair also help keep the design as minimal as they are thin and unobtrusive. What I have learnt from studying Saarien's designs is that you don't have to have one set style, and that isn't necessarily a problem if you don't. This has helped me understand that I don't have to try and create my own style, and it may just come over time. I also find that some of my work is minimal, just like Saarien's, although some of it isn't. It is hard to make a direct comparison between my work and his, as his work is either architecture or furniture. The major difference between our work is that he was pushing the boundaries of modernism and looking forward, whereas my work is a reflection of the past and I try to depict that with a contextual background. For example, my artwork, Imagine Only Being 3/5, is a reflection and a depiction of the 3/5 compromise in the southern states of America in the 1780s, where African Americans were finally able to vote, but they were only considered 3/5 of a whole vote.